I want those principles that the Yankees, even under George, I would want my ownership to operate that way. And in a sense, looking at the Warriors this last decade, winning 4 rings, they operated that way. And when I look at them now, 20 games over 500, you got Soto, a guy that, was on the Giants' radar, but Aaron Judge was really on their radar. He played us. He tricked the Bay. We were doing, promos of why you should come here, and Willard and Dibbs were in Linden. But, all in all, Evan asked, would he get booed tonight, Steiny? And I hadn't even thought about it, Aaron Judge. This is his first time here, but the Giants got bigger fish to fry, right? Wade's hurt. Wade Jr.'s hurt, and you scored 2 runs in the last 19 innings. So you think he's going to get booed? Harper got booed every game, and Evan was right. I was like, okay, but he had history with Strickland and the Giants getting into it. So I'm curious to see how Judge will be treated when he steps up to the dish tonight.
I didn't really think of it either until Evan brought it up, but I think he'll get booed. I don't know how
he's one of the ones that got away, or the ones that the Bay wanted.
I mean, I don't think it'll be booed lustily. I don't think they'll cascading boos. Maybe I'm wrong, but
he's he's like Klay Thompson, right? He ain't cocky like Bryce Harper, outgoing.
But conventional wisdom is that he absolutely, positively used the Giants to get more money out of the Yankees.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. I got a bunch of questions for you out there today. 888-957-9570. There is something about the New York Yankees being in town. And we were talking before the show, and just so much stuff came up. One is, what do you think just when you hear Yankees? Is it just immediate dislike? The other thing is, are they the most disliked brand in all of sports? The New York Yankees. Do you hate them?
What if I told you I feel like the Dodgers and Yankees are tied? And I grew up watching Reggie hit 3 home runs in a World Series game against Steve Yeager, and the Dodgers and Yankees, they were like the Lakers and Celtics back in the day. So I think it's a tie, Steiny. To me, it's a tie. The Dodgers and Yankees, and to be honest with you, to put the right on the table early, they both operate the same. They throw money at their problems. They feel like they can go get Halle Berry or Beyonce or keep them. And that's what they did when you talk about Aaron Judge. It's called leverage, Steiny. But when I saw him come out the restaurant or hotel here, I was like a rat. I took the cheese thinking he might change uniforms. And lo and behold, the Giants they're exciting right now, Steiny. But they're looking for their Aaron Judge, right? They're looking for their next Buster Posey, their face of the franchise. That's what I hate about it.
When I think of the New York Yankees, so much comes to mind. I think of my childhood. And I think about the love that I lost for baseball at some point over the years.
I would love to do a podcast on that. Go ahead.
When I was a kid, 12, 14, 15, I was a huge Yankee fan because they were on TV more than any other team.
Man.
And I fell in love with those Yankee teams, and I hated the Dodgers. I hated the Dodgers. I can still name you those Yankees lineups, but Yankees are in town tonight. And I'm thinking, boy, if you could just put that little kid's heart back in this big boy right here.
I think we're seeing it a little bit. You got a little extra juice.
I'd be out at the stadium for 3 days. Instead, I think of the Yankees, and I think, Steiny, what happened to your love of baseball? And it makes me introspective and not always gleeful. So there's something about the Yankees that makes me a little bit somber at 888-957-950. Because every franchise has a story behind them. And that story is going to dictate whether you like them or not. And I love the Yankees. And they say the opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah. And right now, I'm kind of indifferent about the New York Yankees.
Are you envious of what they have in regard to
how many
going to get
How many World Series have they had in the last 20 years?
Gotcha.
I don't know. Hey, answer me.
I want to say 4.
The Yankees?
Yeah. The last.
Evan, how many World Series have the Yankees won in the last 20 years?
1.
That's what I thought.
Feels like 4.
Well,
Wow.
The Giants have won 3. So why would you be envious of the Yankees? The Giants have had more recent success than the Yankees.
It's how they do their business. And like I said, retaining
Isn't it about the
Judge,
results?
It should be.
Huh?
And right now they're 39-19, 20 games over. They're off to a hell of a start, but Steiny, they're like the Dodgers. They throw money at their problems, even if it doesn't work. And that's why I'm envious, because I want to root for a team that had that, that mindset, that thought process. Hey, it may not work when we go get Steiny or Evan.
So the reality is,
but we'll try it again. We won't change what we're trying to do. And then you go get Juan Soto.
Really, that's the kind of team you want?
The ownership, yes.
Well, so
the Giants spent $300 million this offseason.
Right. But what I'm saying is the Giants aren't a team that throws money at their problems like the Yankees.
No doubt about it.
Right. And
that's why I'm envious.
Well, I wouldn't be, because what is throwing money at their problems gotten them?
Their
less
brand.
Success.
Yeah.
No, their brand started in 1927.
But still, it still is what it is. It's actually grown.
Sure.
And I'm up here saying 4, it's 1, but that kind of goes to anytime there's a free agent out there, Steiny, you feel like the Yankees are one of the locales.
They are.
And there's something to that as a fan where you're in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you're coming off an unsuccessful season.
But
like
it's yielded nothing.
Yeah.
Virtually nothing. So I guess what I'm saying is,
it's yielded hope again.
Well, I'm more results based, and that's this. Like, I wouldn't rather be. Let's say I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rather. And we're going to get into this with Greg Johnson, who did a podcast. He's the chairman of the San Francisco Giants. I would, believe it or not, I'd rather have a team. Okay, you got the Yankees. We go after every free agent.
Right.
And look, they were doing this back in the day when I was a kid. And I loved it. But I'm talking about right now. And I would rather root for a team that's got a strategy and that has a vision and that they build the team kind of around the ballpark and the area they're in. And when I think of the San Francisco Giants, to me, they should be the team that you like, because they're a top 10 spending team, and now let's build a team around our ballpark, which they did in 10, 12, and 14. And it feels like they're starting to do that a little bit now with more of an emphasis on pitching.
What about the heartache of not getting the free agents that they went after? The Bryce Harper who just left.
There's no does Pittsburgh feel heartache?
No, they were never a player to get them.
Well, the Giants weren't really either. That's the point. Who cares if
let's be real.
Like
as a station in the Bay, a lot of people thought Judge might come here. It's easy for you to say now that he was never coming. Come on, Steiny. We were doing shows like, is this egg going to actually hatch and he be a San Francisco Giant? There was some of that momentum.
Right.
So there's pain when you don't close the deal.
But there were also half the people saying there's no chance at Aaron Judge, that he's going to go back, and he's just using the Giants to go back to the Yankees.
Well, I guess my point is the Giants haven't won one since 14.
And my point is the Yankees haven't won anything.
With all the big but they've gotten.
Wouldn't that make it worse? Wouldn't that make it worse in a way?
But then, do you get right back up and try it again? Do you change your course of action or your direction? No, they just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
And then what's up with New York? If you have a bad season or two, and Boone's. I thought he was going to be gone a couple seasons ago, Steiny, but, they don't play in the sense that, you know what, we didn't win a World Series, you're out of here. Like, so there's that pressure.
If you had you would be a Yankee fan, a Laker fan, and
a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, what you are.
No, I'm not.
So
I'm a Warrior fan.
Well, they spend more money than anybody else.
A lot of their nucleus was the homegrown guys, and you got lucky with the trifecta, Dre, Clay, and Steph. My point is, I just can't believe you're fighting me on and you may not be, on the envy of course, Steiny, I would like the 10, 12, 14 World Series and watch guys grow like we did with Belt, Crawford, and Posey. My point is, if you don't get it, it's not because your ownership couldn't close a deal or lure a free agent. That's what I'm talking about. And they have. And they keep doing it. Oh, Juan Soto, he's in the pinstripes. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And under Farhan, tell me if I'm wrong, Giant fans have been getting excited about a possible free agent, and you hadn't closed a deal.
Well, I don't really believe that these deals were realistic. When I look back at every supposed big fish that got away, I actually I'm not heartbroken. I think there are reasons that guys don't come here, and every market has pluses and minuses, and you got to build around. If the Giants can't lure big boy free agents, then they better have a damn good farm system. Like, that's the way you got to try to skin that cat. If you have money, then you don't have to worry about your farm system, and you can go out and get proven players who are free agents. So when I look at the Giants, I just I like what they've done.
I do too.
Obviously not since 2016, but I feel like they're trying to get back to it at least a little bit with their pitching.
Yeah. And the $300 million that they spent. So, and that's what I told you. I expect them to be a playoff team, Steiny. They spent $300 million. We'll get into Greg Johnson's comments, but at the end of the day, they went shopping, and a large portion of their hope this season is predicated on the guys that they brought in. You look at Chapman, you're excited with what he's doing, and he's heating up at the plate, Steiny. He's got the gold glove, and that's a good signing. Snell, we're still waiting, but, man, I'm looking at the Giants like I tip my cap. Yeah, you didn't get the super-duper big fish, but you went shopping, and right now they're 2 games over 500.
All right, I'm going to ask Evan to play something that I think is a relevant part of this discussion. So Greg Johnson's the chairman of the San Francisco Giants, and he was interviewed recently by Tim Kawakami of The Athletic. And Tim Kawakami asked Greg Johnson a lot of pointed questions. And the one question centers on San Francisco Giants as a free agent destination and why they might be struggling signing big-name free agents. Here's what Greg Johnson said.
Yeah, I don't think that really, it's hard to say, but, at the end of the day, I think it's really more about the ballpark and just, home runs and ease of hitting home runs, going after those big players, the big home run hitters.
I absolutely, positively believe him. That's why I don't think anybody's come here. Like a Stanton, like
Bryce
a Harper,
who was frustrated.
Like Ohtani,
yeah,
like Judge. I do think it's the stadium. I don't really think it has anything to do with the city.
No, there's some merit to that.
So,
but you saw how frustrated Bryce was, and you could say, "Oh, Guru, it's baseball. It could have been any city, any stadium he was playing in." But I thought to myself, I'm curious to see as a team how many long balls the Yankees will hit, because the ball doesn't fly out of here like it does where they just left Anaheim or Los Angeles against the Angels. And I'm just wondering if that's why he was like, I could not play here 81 games. I would not want to try to hit here 81 games. How do you get past that?
Offhand, Evan, do you know, are 2 of the games day games? Saturday and Sunday day games, or Saturday
7:05 Saturday night, tomorrow night.
So 2 night games and then Sunday.